Okay, Michael, you keep butchering Hebrews 1:4. I'm going to butcher your butchering of Hebrews 1:4. You just proved Jesus is all-powerful, equal to the Father. Thank you.
Even Jesus said in himself, my Father is greater than I.
And what does that mean? You're misquoting John 14:28 in my process.
Because it means God Almighty. I mean, he is it's just like, okay, God is the head of Jesus. Jesus is the head of the church.
But no, hold on. And the man is the head of the wife. So that means the woman is inferior in essence and nature and value to the man? That's what you're quoting. If you don't know what you're quoting. What in John 14:28 shows that Jesus is saying the Father is greater than I ontologically?
What I'm saying is greater, like greater as in God Almighty. I mean, you see, people say,
how can he be greater in might if he's equal to him in essence? Because one of the attributes of the divine essence is to be almighty. What are you talking about, dude?
But okay, there's a different. For example, I'm a son of my father. My father was here before me.
No, he wasn't.
Okay. Wait a minute. Okay, let me
prove it to you. Can I prove it to you? Okay. Are you the oldest in your family?
No, I'm the second.
Who's the oldest in your family?
My sister is the oldest. I have a sister.
How old is she?
She is 46.
Yeah. How old is your father as a father? Not how old is he as a man?
46.
So that is a lie that a father is older than the child that makes him a father, because without a child, you're not a father. What are you talking about?
So are you saying me and my dad were equal? Okay.
Without a child, you cannot be an actual parent. So it is a lie to say, if I am the firstborn son, my father is older than me, because without me, my father wouldn't be a father. That's wrong. A father is only as old as the firstborn child, because without the child, he's not a father. So again, it shows you don't understand, even in human relationships, that I can only be a father when I have a child. And my child makes me a father, so I'm only as old as my firstborn. So as a father, I'm only 14 years old, because when I didn't have my daughter, I wasn't a father. So where did you get this notion that a father's older than the child that makes him a father?
No, I'm just saying the father is greater than the son. That's what I'm saying.
By the way, what do you mean greater again? So we're back to the first point. What do you mean greater?
Because the fact that the father was before and the son comes out of the father.
Before where?
Okay. The son came after. The father was there
first. Where does it say came after?
Okay, the son came from within the father. So if you're saying they're both equal as
within, what do you mean within? Is God like a body that things
for example, I was inside my dad, right? But later on, I
don't think you're inside your dad, because you're
no. I'm just before I came to be. Before I came to be, I was, like Levi was in the loins of Abraham.
Yeah. Okay. So you're saying God is like a body and there are parts in him and comes out?
I didn't say God is like a body. God is a spirit.
That's the analogy you're giving me. So what do you mean came out of God? What comes out of God if God is spirit and he's not bodily?
See, the reason I say the Father is greater than the Son, Jesus even himself said, I proceeded forth from my Father.
Okay, what does that mean? It's talking about the economic trinity. Michael, take it easy. I'll get to you. I promise you. Take it easy, Michael. Let me do one. Yeah. He's talking about the economic relationship that he came forth from the Father out of heaven into the world. John 8:42. I know what you're talking about. Why are you confusing the economic trinity, the relationship of the Son coming out of the Father from heaven into the world to accomplish salvation, with his relationship to the Father in respect to their nature? Why are you confusing the two?
I mean, I'm not like the nature is. We agreed on that about the nature. They have the same.
John 14:28. Yeah. What in that context shows the Father is greater in the sense that he's more powerful than the Son?
Because he's the one who gave him the power to raise people
from
the dead.
Where does John 14:28 say that?
All right, so John 14:28, it says, you heard that I said to you, I'll go away and I will come to you. If you loved me, you would have rejoiced because I go to the Father, for the Father is greater than I.
Now, I'm going to show you the context of the word greater in context. Okay, my friend Ashnaf? He's going to open up the chapter. Because before we get to 28, we got verses 1 to 27 to deal with, which you didn't address. So he's going to open up for me, John 14. Okay, now, in first place, I want to read 23. Just want to read 23. That comes before 28. So 23, whoever wants to read it. If Nick wants to read it, go ahead.
Said Jesus answered and said to him, if anyone loves me, he will keep my word, and my Father will love him, and we will come to him and make our dwelling with him.
So I'm going to ask him a question. Jesus says, if someone truly loves me, obey me. And those who truly love me, I and the Father equally will come and equally live with all of them. What kind of abilities, characteristics is Jesus claiming to have to know the true believers from the false ones and to be with them in the same sense that the Father is with all true believers?
You have to be omnipresent.
Say it again. Ooh, music.
Omnipresent.
And what else? Oof.
Omniscient, omniscient, all-knowing, all-knowing,
All-knowing,
omniscient.
and then also he's claiming that he's with them in order to oversee them and protect them, right? Because he's going to be with us.
Yes, yes.
So what else? What else?
All-powerful.
Say it again.
All-powerful.
You just proved Jesus is all-powerful, equal to the Father. Thank you.
Okay, what I was saying.
You just did that, right? You just proved.
I didn't say, okay, what I'm saying is the Father, since the Father and the Son are distinct, the Father is...
You just proved that if Jesus can be with every believer...
Yes, I believe that.
That he's omniscient, he's omnipotent.
Yeah, I believe that. I never said...
Do you believe he's omnipotent?
Yeah, I mean, because God gave him a name above all names.
Okay,
he gave him all authority. All power has been given to me.
Do you believe Jesus is all powerful?
Yes, because it's been given to him by God.
Okay, so even if you say it's given to him, so he's almighty, that means he's equal to the Father, right?
Yeah, God, because he gave him all authority.
So he's equal to the power of the Father, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you just refuted yourself. So what are you arguing with me for?
Because my argument is the Father is God Almighty. He's greater than the Son. That's
no, you just admit Jesus is almighty because he's given the power of the Father, which makes him equal to the Father.
Because he's connected to the Father, he's his nature.
And you're connected to the Father and you're still weak, right?
What was that?
And you're connected to the Father and you're still weak.
I'm not weak.
Comparison to the Father and the Son you are. But anyway, thank you for refuting yourself. But now, can you hold on? And go to Michael now? Because Michael's been waiting. I'll come back to you.
Okay.
Thank you for the shish kebab. Now I want to go back to Michael.
All right.
Okay, Michael, you keep butchering Hebrews 1:4. I'm going to butcher your butchering of Hebrews 1:4 because I'm getting tired of you butchering Hebrews 1:4. In the context, what's the name? If you read contextually, which you don't do, Hebrews 1:3 tells you the name that he inherited means his status and authority that elevated him from that of a lowly position to now rule as king, because that's the context if you read Hebrews 1:3. He is the radiance of the glory of God and the exact imprint of his nature, and he upholds the universe by the word of his power. After making purification for sins, he sat down at the right hand of the Majesty on high. Here, sat down, that's the key. And when he sat down, that's when he became superior to angels, and that's when he inherited the name more excellent than theirs. And then he goes on to give you proof texts. Hebrews 1:5, for to which, now he's explaining, for to which of the angels did God ever say, you are my son, today I've begotten? And I want to know if you even know context. What is this psalm about, Psalm 2:7? Because he's quoting Psalm 2:7 to show, see, when he sat down at the Majesty on high, right side of the Majesty on high, that's when he became superior to angels, and that's when he received the name. So in Psalm 2:7, he uses that to prove his point. What's Psalm 2:7 all about? Mm-hmm. Psalm 2 is about the coronation of the king. It's talking about when the king is coronated to rule as king. That's the context of Psalm 2:7.